Italy's far-right government submits plan to decriminalise abuse of office.
Here's a summary of the article.
Italian senators are to debate plans by the far-right government to decriminalise abuse of office, a decision that has sparked tension with the EU and raised fears over the potential for mafia infiltration in the public sector. Punishable by up to 4 years in prison, the charge of abuse of office can be brought against public officials, including mayors and local administrators, who are suspected of intentionally exploiting their public position for their own or someone else's benefit. The crime of abuse of office exists in 25 out of 27 EU countries, and Brussels would like to see it extended to all. Very often, the causes that trigger the opening of an investigation against a public official for the crime of office abuse in Italy are of a political nature, and this happens especially in small towns, he said. Let me give you an example. If a mayor has to announce a tender for the construction of a sewer, he could receive the most advantageous offer from an acquaintance, which is very common in small towns. At that point, the opposition party in the city could report to the authorities that the mayor wanted to favor his acquaintance by awarding the sewer construction to his company. The result is that today in Italy, many mayors and public officials, in order to avoid being charged with office abuse, are actually inclined to abandon the implementation of public works. Nordio has said the abuse of office crime obstructs investigations because it clogs up public prosecutors' offices with useless files, using up energy that should instead be directed towards offenses requiring greater attention. Abuse of office was among the crimes of which officials and civil servants were convicted.
This post received a score of 3,500, with an upvote ratio of 94%. Here are the top comments in response to this article.
Italian senators are to debate plans by the far-right government to decriminalise abuse of office, a decision that has sparked tension with the EU and raised fears over the risk of mafia infiltration in the public sector. Punishable by up to 4 years in prison, the charge of abuse of office can be brought against public officials, including mayors and local administrators, who are suspected of intentionally exploiting their public position for their own or someone else's benefit. In a country where the mafia has often infiltrated the public sector through the years, magistrates have raised concerns about the essential role the charge plays in the safeguarding of public administration. Abolishing it, they warned, could facilitate white-collar and economic crimes and deepen the links between politics and organized crime.
Italian voters, I didn't think the face-eating leopards would eat my face.
Again.
What is their justification for this? Yeah, of course the real reason is corruption. But I doubt they straight up admit to that, so what did they say to propose such a decriminalization?
If it's anything like most right-wing efforts to curb corruption laws and accountability, it will be framed as reducing government red tape.
Which if I learned anything on my trips to Italy, it's that the populace truly believes nothing gets done in office because of that red tape. It honestly is a strategy that may prove effective. Didn't that guy from Italy's past use the red tape justification as part of his attack and eventual takeover of their political system? I could be wrong, but the repetition of history has become beyond troubling. Yeah, I'm not sure. I only know what people there told me a couple years ago. I agree with you though, definitely troubling.
I don't know if the Italian far right is fascist, but historically speaking, fascists like to normalize corruption.
Historically speaking, the Italian far right is fascist. In the modern days, they are more conservative MAGA-style populists? Even if some still have ties to their neo-fascist past.
Same with Spain's far right, which is mostly ultra-conservatives with ties to the old Franco regime.
I hope the Italians enjoy their new mafia-fascist government now that corruption is about to become business as usual.
How many times did they re-elect Berlusconi? Let's just say they have a soft spot for this kind of politicians.
Well, technically 0 if you consider that the PM doesn't get elected in Italy. And once you enter the parliament, I think it's hard to get out if you are the leader of your party, unless you get arrested. And unfortunately, he did not get arrested.
This video was automatically created by Reddit to speech. The article and comments in this video were selected from Reddit according to their upvotes, and any paraphrasing was performed by smmry.com, without any human intervention.